a new trial, but the standards are very high to get a new trial. In fact, the same exact arguments that Mr. Geragos has brought up have been rejected by the trial judge, the California Court of Appeals, the California Supreme Court on direct appeal, the California Supreme Court on habeas appeal, then the U.S. District Court and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on habeas federal relief. So his arguments have been rejected literally every time they've been raised in 6 different courts. So what he's basically said is that he's got 2 new pieces of evidence, but those new pieces of evidence have to be subject to the rigid criteria of a habeas motion. They have to be timely, they have to be presented without substantial delay, they have to be admissible, and they have to be credible. And we went through each one of those factors to show that, for instance, the Erik Menendez to Andy Cano letter is supposedly sent in December of 1988. The problem with that, this undated photocopy of a letter, is that Erik Menendez testified for 7 days at his trial, a bit in graphic detail about the sexual abuse he experienced from his father. Andy Cano also testified in the first and the second trial. They said that the last time they had communicated about sexual abuse was 6 years before the 1989 murders in 1983. They were asked these questions many times, and they said the only time they had ever communicated was in 1983 when Andy Cano was 10 and Erik Menendez was 12 or 13. Voila, in 2023, we have a letter submitted, supposedly dated in 1988, that was never, ever mentioned during the trial. So that letter, we have great issues with its credibility. Again, because if it existed, it would have been used in the 1993 trial.